are you? Just get this turned on. There we go. Another brand new day in paradise. Today should be interesting. Just before I came on here, and I always ask just before I go live, sometimes they tell me the day before, sometimes they tell me a few hours before, sometimes it's not until the last minute what's actually going to be about the day, what's actually going to be happening here. And today, I have Master Jesus with me, and he says it's to discuss the concept of to forgive, but don't forget. And this is really important, because when I ask him about that, he says forgiveness means you learn to let go of things that no longer serve you, but you don't forget things that have been done to you by certain individuals or people. You don't forget, because that keeps you in a state of mindfulness in the present moment. Trust is earned, it's not given. Trust is earned. Trust is earned is a big word. So anyways, as I'm feeling him coming in, and I speak his name, I say, Master Jesus, and we hear this loud glug, glug, glug from our water jug, our water dispenser here. And it just suddenly starts just chugging away at that moment when he said, forgive, don't forget. And yet there are some things, I don't always agree with them, because there are some things that you need to forget for yourself. You need to forget your fear. You need to forget your guilt. You need to forget your shame. You need to let those things, you need to forgive those. Forgiveness means literally to let go of. To let go of. So you want to really learn how to let go of things that no longer serve you. You don't want to be carrying around guilt and shame and anger and fear. And so today's going to be mostly about Q&A. There are big changes shaken down on this planet right now. He's saying there's big changes shaken down on this planet. And we're all participating in it, either consciously or unconsciously, willfully or unwillfully. But do not let your trust be given freely. Let it be earned. Let your trust be earned. And that is so important too. So who have we got here today? Hello, Marigold. Hi there. I'm just going to do a few other things while we're waiting for people to arrive. There we go. Just going to post this out. Thank you. I hope everybody had a really amazing weekend after a supernatural Saturday. I hope you did that meditation. I've been getting comments and exciting statements from people about how it's affecting them. Really learning to let go of who you think you are and remembering who you actually are. This is the big thing. This is the surrendering of the old self. This is what Master Jesus went up in the desert to do. The desert is that place between the old self and the new self, the divine self, the human self, the earthly constructed personality. And there's a point in the process of our evolution that we all have to go through the surrendering of the old self and to rebuild or align to a higher version of ourselves. That aspect of us that is without limit, that is literally connected to divine source energy, that does not have restricting beliefs about health and vitality and wellness, that literally with a thought you can alter and change things very rapidly. So he's saying a lot of you are in the desert right now. Please take heart and be patient, for the desert comes to an end. You will find the paradise that you seek. It is not found in the body alone. It is not found in your senses. It is found in the spirit of your alignment to the limitless nature that is truly who you are. This is what I taught, what I continue to teach, that truly what you think, that it shall be. To make the distinction between your thoughts and yourself gives you the freedom to choose your thinking. Many of you do not choose your thinking. Many of you have your thinking being done for you, and this will not be sufficient to liberate you. The transition from the old self that is constructed and made up by others on your behalf, to surrender that, to step into the unknown, the unfamiliar, to release your fear about that, to align yourself to that which I am, you are too. In this world, some of you are able to function even greater than I did when I was in physical form. Yes, I know. Yes. There's also this fractal of Master Jesus that's in flesh right now. There's an actual fractal that functions at the same level and capacity that he did, but higher, and mindful of the existing conditions in our social and political environments globally, because there is a huge push in human collective unconsciousness to either stay in the personality or to awaken to the divine. You know, we're getting to this place where free will is becoming really important. And yes, and making decisions that are intelligent. He's saying a lot of people don't make intelligent decisions. A lot of people just make decisions out of need and out of fear. And stop making decisions out of need and fear and begin to make decisions from love and possibility. Wow, he's saying to me right now that there's a current movement underway on the planet, a process of helping people to, he's using the term unwillfully, helping people to come to terms unwillfully into being responsible. What do you mean by that? That many of you have not learned to control your own mind or your own biology, and you are running amok in this world, consuming and using without forethought as to the impacts of your thoughts and actions upon your own physical well-being, but also the world at large. And there is a very specific movement underway. For if you will not take responsibility for your mind and your body, then somebody else will. And you are seeing this today. It is time to awaken. This process that you call, wow, yeah. He's saying that the sanctity of life has been lost. The sanctity of life has been lost in your greed and in your need. In your need to be so self-centered. In your need to experience pleasure. You have become so selfish. And in your selfishness, you have forgotten to consider the consequences of your thoughts and your actions, not only upon yourself, but upon the millions of others who willfully and patiently waited for their opportunity to come into flesh. And now you find yourself allowing these souls to come into a world that is not able to take care of them or receive them anymore. And so this drastic change you're seeing is necessary for those of you who cannot think, for those of you that cannot realize the impact of your thoughts and your actions upon yourself and others. This is so important. Millions and millions of little children die every day because nobody has considered the impact of their actions. Millions of souls with the opportunity to have what you have lose that opportunity because many of you have no forethought as to the consequences of your actions. The sacredness of intimacy, the sacredness of love, these are not understood by most of you. You do not understand the sacredness of love, the sacredness of intimacy, and what that means in terms of a pathway for souls to come deliberately and consciously into this world, to contribute deliberately to it, deliberately and mindfully. And so for many of you that feel like something is being imposed upon you, it is. For you would not impose it upon yourself to be responsible for your body. You would not impose it upon yourself to be responsible for your mind. And so if you find yourself struggling to understand Why these rules? Why these laws? Because the vast majority have no mind and no forethought for what their thoughts and actions have meaning for and how it will impact their own bodies and the lives of those who are seeking to ennoble this world through manifestation. We are in great numbers in light with all of you. We know this is difficult, but this is the time that all of you must become mindful of your thoughts and your actions. Millions of lives are lost every day, squandered thoughtlessly, without forethought or consideration for the ramifications of your desire to experience pleasure exclusively for yourself or to acquire it from someone else. This is so important you understand this. It is so important. But many of you remain unmindful of this. You continue to repeat the same errors. And you have been given hundreds of years to take responsibility. And many of you have not. And so for those who are responsible, it is up to them to establish a new order. An order in which individuals are mindful and conscious and present of their thoughts, their actions, their needs, their wants, and their relationship to others, and how your thought and your needs and your actions affect others. And when I say others, I mean all forms on this planet. There are many other souls, not just in human bodies. There are souls in the trees, in the fishes, in the birds. They have as much right to the divine ennoblement of their life as do you. Please understand this. If you were truly all responsible, as you can be, for your body, for your mind, for your actions, for your needs, what is happening now would not be necessary. The rampant desire for pleasure for the sake of pleasure in and of itself is what is wholly responsible for your uncontrolled behavior. And it is time to be mindful. There are millions present, both in form and not in form, that seek to ennoble the light into its highest manifestation in matter. And it has been achieved on this planet, and it has been lost on this planet. But this opportunity to choose the mindful, to choose actions based in love, not based in fear. For your fear that you will not have what you need to have causes you to do things irrationally. And your fear that you may not get what you need from the environment causes you to act irrationally, selfishly, unmindfully. Love does not act in disregard for any form. For any form. Love does not act in disregard or in selfishness towards any form, whether that form is in matter, or that form as in thought, or that form as in another dimensional frequency. The definition of love needs reawakening and a new understanding of what that is. It's not about whether you sleep or don't sleep with somebody. The definition of love isn't about how much or how little you eat. The definition of love is very different than what most of you know. And please understand, this comes from a place of deep compassion and understanding that many of you have been trained into error. Many of you have been trained into error. it is time to awaken. Your mind and your body are divine temples. This world is a divine temple. And what you think and what you say and what you do either ennobles that or diminishes it. To truly be mindful, requires patience, awareness, understanding, and foresight. So you can be forgiven for your errors, but there are those who will not forget. You can be forgiven for your errors, but there are those who will not forget. It is important you understand that you can make errors and correct them and learn from them and grow from them. But when errors are repeatedly carried forth, then there is no awareness there. There is just habit. And many of you live from habit. And so many of you feel your freedoms are being taken away from you and diminished. But I would say to you that we seek to establish greater freedom. For in the process of deliberate thinking, conscious living, conscious being from the vibrational frequency of love will render a different experience of reality than you can currently know. It is inevitably going to unfold, this extension and expression of love. It is happening right now. I'm just asking about the changes that are coming. And it's a real opportunity for all of us to wake up. It really, really is. Forgive, don't forget. So I remember when I was a serious drug user and alcoholic, and I forgave myself for that, but I've never forgotten how that could affect my life. So I've never done it again. Right? Is that, yeah. For me as an individual, and for you, maybe you as an individual, you've done things that you're not proud of. You're not happy that you've done them, but you learned from them. You grew from them. You became a better person as a result. So you forgave. You let go of your judgment of self, and but you didn't forget the meaning of that. So you've never repeated the mistake, and that's really important. Forgive, do not forget. He says if that happens on the individual scale strong enough, humanity could really shift out of the path we're on right now. But he said it's pretty firmly established right now that there's just so many humans on this planet that are not thinking and reasoning intelligently and acting out of a higher vibrational awareness. Yeah, it's like children. I mean, what do you mean by that anyway? He said, so the millions of children are literally dying every day. Millions of children around the world are dying every day, not just from starvation. That's just one facet of one effect of our mindlessness as a species. But there's also things that aborted children, millions. So that's also mindless activity. It doesn't, it's crazy what's happened. What's the definition of that? I'm just asking what the definition of bringing a sentient being in the world. The definition of this is, yes, that you are consciously and deliberately deciding that there is a soul that you are here to work with as a parent, as a prospective mom, as a prospective father. And you know that you have a divine responsibility to be a gateway for a sentient being that's going to have something to offer to humanity that nobody else can offer them. And while this is true for all of you, as it is, very few of you have even an inkling of what it is you have to offer this world. But it can be found inside you still, but you must learn to forget um, uh, what you've been taught to think is true and what you've been taught to think is false, and truly understand the meaning of truth and truly understand the meaning of what is false. To let go of your self-judgment, your negative self-judgment, and restore yourself to light. Wow. I'm going to go into some questions and answers. There's a lot more. I mean, there's so much more that I'm really deliberately holding a lot of what he wants to say back, because it's overwhelming, and it'd be overwhelming for you too, when you realize that we as a species, half of our population on our planet is obese and unhealthy. 70 million children die every year of starvation. Not just children, but people in general die of starvation every year. Does that seem like a mindful society, a mindful species that would allow 70 million members of its family to die from starvation, not to mention the millions that die from disease and sickness? Yeah, there's a lot that we have to learn as a species. And because there's so many of us that either don't know how to take responsibility or don't want to take responsibility, we're seeing a process being enforced, literally being enforced. And it's not for those who can think and reason and make good decisions. It's for those who cannot think. It's for those who cannot think and make good choices with good sound reason that this process is unfolding as it is unfolding. Just know that the divine is in everything. It's a wailing and a gnashing of teeth, he says. I'm going to go into some questions to answer. I just want to move away from this because this has been really hard for me when he started downloading this. That the vast majority of us don't know how to think, or care, or love, or have consideration or respect for other life forms. I mean, look at the forests around the world leveled. There used to be trees that were miles high, not hundreds of feet high, miles high. There was a time in Earth's evolution where there were trees that were massive, and life forms that were nothing you could ever imagine. You think the dinosaurs were big? There were creatures greater than that, even in another incarnation of this planet. But we've gotten to this place where we have become very unmindful. But again, everything has its season. Okay, I'm going to scroll up here. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Oh, wait, I can actually read the questions from here. Hi. There is a lack of courage as well, Louise. Yes, thank you. That's true. And it can be scary. Look, people don't realize, and we need to redefine education on this planet. We need to redefine what we're teaching children. Teaching children math and science, and it's wonderful if they're curious, if they're designed that way. But really, honestly, teaching children love, their true nature, isn't that what we should be first? Teaching a child that it's a sacred being, that it has a duty that within it's going to unfold. And as parents, we can come to that place in understanding where we can show our children or let them reveal to us what they are here to be and do, and not just get caught up in what we think they should be or what they think they should do. And that's a big mistake. When you think, when we think we know what's best for our children, we might know what's best in terms of what they need to eat, or how often they need to sleep, or what sort of thoughts are going to be beneficial for them. But what they're going to be, they already are. Our duty is to be an open space to allow that awareness to come through into their world. Let them express it, whether an artist or a painter or a sculptor or a scientist or an explorer or whatever that unique child is. Yes. But right now we're just letting anybody and everybody come into this planet. This planet has become a literal free-for-all. This planet has become a free-for-all, and it's not a good thing for the planet. It's certainly not a good thing for humanity and the other life forms on it. I mean, we think we can just eat and procreate without forethought, and that's insanity, isn't it? Yeah, I will. Just scrolling up a bit here, guys. Good morning. Hello, Kathy. Hi, Scotland. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this too. I was shocked actually to realize that he's actually partly in agreement with what's unfolding on the planet today. And I said, why? And he said, because most are do not know how to think for themselves. They're unintentionally destructive and damaging to the planet. There's so many people are just caught up in what's in it for me. What can I get? How much can I have? How much can I? It's insanity. You know, forests, drugs that are harvested out of nature to satisfy the sensorial pleasure of people exclusively. Nothing wrong with having pleasure, but when your pleasure is at the expense of another life form, that is wrong. It's not your life. Your life is less. That life is less important than mine. The life of that tree is less important than the life of me, or the life of that cow is less important than my life. You know, it's not fair. It's not fair at all. Oh, hi, Dova. Question from Dova. I had a dream where I was in charge of an orphanage. I want to adopt when I am more stable. Have my own ideas. How else can I help humanity? Wow. He's saying your intention is of light. Your intention is of light. The stability you seek will come from ennobling yourself and enabling yourself to do that which you aspire to do. Do not let your fear delay your purpose. Do not let your fear delay your purpose. Your love, when it's enacted in your deeds, will transcend your limitations. Your love, when it's enacted in your deeds, will transcend your limitations. Once your attention is on love, nothing else can stand in your way. Yes, he says also it's important just to stay on that awareness. Your love to help these children. If you stay connected to that feeling of love, and you only allow that feeling, because that feeling will resonate with certain things, and that feeling won't resonate with certain things. And the things that your love do not resonate with, do not do them, right? Do the things that your love resonates with. He's saying the stability that you're seeking will come from your love, not in trying to get rid of your instability. Enable your love more. Enable your love more. Really powerful. Thank you so much for that question. It's a beautiful question. Because a lot of people are trying to find their purpose here. There's a lot of people trying to find their purpose here. And they're struggling. They think, what am I supposed to do? You weren't raised in an environment where most people weren't raised in environments where their parents were doing what they loved. Most people were raised in environments where parents were doing what they felt they had to. And that's gone on for thousands of years. The vast majority of us don't know how to choose. We have to find it, right? But that's going to change now. There's going to be a change in the population density on the planet. There's going to be a change in how we function consciously as a species, right? And the people that can't function consciously aren't going to be able to fit in unless they can wake up. And that's why the ascension process is being kicked up a notch right now. Why all these ascension energies are coming and giving everybody that's able to wake up to a vibration of love, to enact your love. We have to enact our love as our expression, as individuals and as a collective, right? It's the only way this planet will survive, and it's the only way this species will survive, is when we enact our love in what we're being. And a lot of you have asked me, well, how do I find out what I love to do? And last week, I think it was Archangel Michael said, go out and get a notepad and walk around with a notepad and write down all the things that give you joy in a notepad. Just go find out all the things that give you love. Like when you look at it, it makes you feel good. Learn to connect to the things that give you joy. Now, if you're dealing with alcoholism or drug addiction, you might think that those things are going to make you feel good, but you know that that's a lie. So you'd ask yourself, what would really make me feel good? And then write that down and do it. Every time you get a desire to drink alcohol, drink apple juice, or drink water, or drink orange juice. Drink something that's alive and living, and reprogram your system. But everybody, once you start to connect to your love and to your joy, you liberate yourself from the suffering. You literally begin to forgive your past, to let go of it. Once you start to align yourself to love and your expressions of love, you forgive your past, you let go of your past. And don't forget what you did in the past, because you don't want to repeat it either. But a lot of change. Again, a lot of what I'm hearing right now is new to me, and something I have a hard time accepting and looking at that, but I can't deny it either. I mean, the reality is the vast majority of people don't care. They only care about themselves. They don't care about, what happens. I mean, look at people eating dogs and cats in one country and thinking that's okay. There was a time 72,000 years ago, humans did not eat other life forms. We respected other life forms. We lived naturally off organic materials that weren't living animals, right? There's always a way. The plant, I had a vegetarian come up and say, well, what about the plants? Aren't we harming the life in the plants? When you eat a plant, you get the life from the plant. And that life gets elevated into human consciousness. The consciousness that was in the plant is now the consciousness that's a part of your life. And you're actually elevating. When you're eating plants and fruits and vegetables, you're actually elevating the consciousness up in that organism to a human form, right? Which gives it another opportunity to evolve itself in a different way. And that's what happens, right? Yeah. Questions. Okay. Let's go back here. Hi, everybody. Welcome, Africa. Hello, hello, hello. Question from Lydia. What will happen to those who do not awaken to the new paradigm? Well, again, they will not be here. You will not be welcome in a house that you do not respect. You must have respect for this house. You were invited in. You were invited in. You must have respect for it. And those who do not respect it will be asked to leave. And they are being asked to leave. Cool. Wow. Thank you for that question, Lydia. Yeah, I'm a little scary about this today because it's very intense for me. Because I know you're saying that. Yes. The Patreon meeting tonight at 7 p.m. Absolutely. Everybody will receive the email this morning. So yeah, my Patreon members, yes, we do the live 7 at 7 tonight. So I will be seeing you there. It's going to be a really exciting night too. I got goosebumps about it too. Thank you so much. Yeah. And Christina Holmes, you should have received the email. So Christina, if you're here today, remember you won the free reading with me this month. Just have to book your appointment through my website. Question from Crotchet Goddess. In the new King of England, is the new King of England Jesus' fractal? Don't we have thousands of fractals living at the same time? Yes, absolutely. He's saying, I am in all of you as I am, not as I was in flesh, but as I am in all. That which is in you is in me also. So to answer your question directly, yes, there is a fractal of that which I am in him also, as him is also a fractal in who I am. If you understand this from the place of non-separation, you will be delighted in being who you are, and you will give delight to this world. Thank you for that. Wonderful, I love it. Question from Nicole. Can I receive healing for my right shoulder as I had surgery last Thursday, leaving me in a lot of pain? Thank you. Yeah, Nicole, absolutely. Let's. I'm going to ask Master Jesus to step by you right now. Just let that settle in there. That point, he's saying that point of heat above and below, the outside radius of what you call pain is where I come in. Let us know how that feels, Nicole. Cool. He says he's going to keep doing that for about 3 minutes. Hello from Sweden. I love it. Question from Manoj. Pleiadians have said that in a future cabal will make a vaccination passport for everyone. We will have to show it for everything such as buying food, withdrawing money from bank, etc. Is that true? There's a yes. I get an immediate yes and no on that. It's going to be a yes for some and a no for some. A yes for some and a no for some. It depends predominantly on the level of responsibility that people decide to assume. Many have taken for granted what this planet has been for them. They do not treat the gift as a gift. Yes, for those of you that awaken and understand your role in contributing to this world, you will have no fear of this. But for those who cannot be responsible or think for themselves, there will be restrictions and limitations on what they can be and say and do, for they do not do so consciously. Those who have no care will not have the benefit that this planet has to offer them. Wow. Thank you, Manoj. Question from Patricia. For many of us, the word responsibility seems to be intrinsically tied to the idea of guilt. How can we overcome this? Thank you. Oh, great question. Yes. The labors that you have been taught to believe is the way of your life, for your life was not meant to be a labor. Your life was meant to be an expression of love. And in the process of liberating yourself from the false conceptions of this word responsibility, you could simply substitute the word expression of love, for your work should be your love and expression. And that is the greatest responsibility, to enact the expressions of love in all things you think and say and do. If you are functioning from the perspective of love, then whether you are a factory worker or a king, if your acts and words and deeds are from love, then no matter what spectrum of the scale you exist in, you will find yourself very pleased with your life, and you will find that life will be very pleased with you. Ask yourself this question. Is what I do an act of love? Is what I think an act of love? Thank you. Thank you, Patricia. Appreciate that question. Yes, Gina, everybody will get a link to the Patron live event tonight. Everyone will get a link today for tonight. Question from Carolyn. May I ask Jesus if there is a message for me today? Thank you. Oh, he's saying he likes it when you smile at him. He says he likes it when you smile at him. He would be very delighted if you could show his smile to others. Can you show my smile to others? I like it when you smile at me. Wow. What's that? Wow. So he's saying that smile to others can be the smile you have on your face. This I am that he is. Master Jesus, the persona Master Jesus, is the personality construct that he functioned through as the divine I am. He ascended from the personal level to the infinite level, the I am presence. And being able to articulate that vibration, that sensation, that communication. And there are some beings on this planet with a single smile or a look, they can communicate that I am love, I am light, right to your heart and soul. And is that accurate? Yes. That would be pleasing to him. That would be very pleasing to him if you can communicate that light that you feel when you connect to him to others. Wow, cool. Wonder how you'll do that. A question from Lauren. My energies feel unaligned, and I seem to have lost all inspiration for this current path. Can my team please give me some guidance with the right decision for my next step, please? I don't know who this is, but they're saying she hasn't lost inspiration. She's simply not focusing on things that enliven her spirit. She needs to become more active. What do you mean more active? Physically active. She needs to get more physically excited. I don't know if you dance, but I get strongly like something rigorous physical activity. Yes, rigorous physical activity will enliven your energy back up, will wake you up to what you need to be connected to, inspirationally. But they're saying you haven't lost inspiration, you're not active enough. Again, I don't know what that means, but get really physically active. If you can dance or do something rigorous physical activity, that's what I get. Yeah. You haven't lost the inspiration. You just got to get things going. And they seem to, they seem to think it's more of a physical thing for you. It's more of a physical action to get your juices, your inspirational ideas coming through matter. If your body's not healthy and vibrant and strong, it's really hard to get motivated. But at the same time, you got to get your body up and you got to do things differently with it to retrain it to a new energy. Like a lot of people don't know, your body is not who you are. You have to learn to train your body to a new expression of being, so it's in alignment with who you really want to be, right? Cool. Yeah, I'll do that in a moment. Thank you so much. Yes, we have. Thank you so much. Question from Margret. Biblical times, sorry. In biblical times, there was fishing. Is this just in the present time where we have others that we should not fish or eat fish? He's saying, I was a vegetarian. I did not eat the flesh. I never consumed the flesh. This is why my temple was made ready. That you have found fish to eat and other things to eat is simply a simple thing. The effort it takes to create a body that is immaculate isn't as easy as it is to create an unimmaculate body, a body that is displeasing to the spirit. Many of you take the easy way. Many of you take the very easy way. It's convenient, it's simple, those things you put in your body, but in the greater scheme of things, you create much suffering, not only in yourself, but in this world as well. But I use this expression frequently as a metaphor for understanding how to create that things could be as abundant as you want them to be, or as lacking as you want them to be. Cool. Yeah. Makes sense, doesn't it? Let's see here. Question from Kathy. How can we help and guide women who have miscarriages? They never forgot. They never forget. So how can we help them to forgive themselves? Wow. He's literally putting his hands over his heart. He says to communicate to them that they do not understand that the time was not right. It is not a judgment on them. The time must be right for these individuals. There are many things in this world that are designed to curtail the process of birth. There are many things over the last 60 years in your history that are designed to curtail the process of birth, because so many have gotten so careless about the process of selecting and choosing whom they would bring into this world and how they would facilitate their evolution. The process of instinctual reproduction has overridden the divine impetus to procreate. There is a distinction between the divine impetus to procreate and the instinctual process of creating. They are very different. One merely creates a body for the sake of creating a body, whereas the other creates a space to ennoble a soul to its ultimate expression of itself in time and space. So there are many that are having miscarriages because of the things that they eat and the things that they consume, that they are exposed to because of the changes that are happening. And this is not their fault. But if they wish to ameliorate this condition, they could simply identify the things that they eat and consume or put into their bodies that would inhibit or block the natural organic process of enabling a soul to come into form. But again, if the process is exclusively for the purpose of instinctual satisfaction, and procreation is not meant to be done exclusively from that in the human realm, the process of procreation is a process of a divine enablement for a soul to come into time and space. It is not just some random thing to produce more numbers. Thank you. Great question. Thank you so much for that. Wow, I don't have to watch this over again. Question from Gina. Is there anything I should be doing to help the process along? I don't know. You're saying something about something you have to get out of your way. What do you mean by that? She still has to let go of this uncertainty. She must become more inspired. How she does that? By letting go of that which she holds on to let go of her uncertainty and her fear, for she cannot give the light she came to give through the filter of fear. And that's something a lot of us have done, right? Where we got emotions we haven't let go from our past. We hold on to past emotions, and we know we're more than these feelings. We are, and we have to learn how to let go of those. Yes, I understand. Yes. Blaine is asking a question of Metatron. Could you explain how to use grids and portals? And when I read the question, the first thing he said, grids and portals, when they're clear and succinct and understood as the frequency is to be used, then these patterns, these energies will organize the matter that they come into contact with, even if that is in your own mind and your own body. As you bring these patterns and grids into your mind and body, you reorganize the divine matrix stored within your DNA to enable an expression greater than the one prior to that extension of energy. But you may do this also to the world, the space around you, to see or envision the earth, for example, in what you call my cube. To envision that, you will change things on this world. And this is being done on a very great scale right now. It is why you're seeing this transformation happening so fast and so suddenly. This has been spoken of for many years prior. You are seeing it all unfold in the span of a couple of years now. Many years of creation and deliberation unfolding in a very short time frame. And many of these patterns of energy that you bring down from these higher dimensions that I utilize do this. They reorganize both the inner system and the outer system, and you may use them in this fashion. Cool. Hello, Silver King. Question from Animo. As I awakened and healed awareness, allowed forgiveness and divine gratitude for all my experiences, is there an affirmation I can use from my heart space to affect similar change for others? This is a great consideration you're bringing up, Animo, and recognizing just the thought that you're discussing, that you know in your heart that you affect other beings, that you know in your heart that when you think a certain way and you feel a certain way, you are affecting other beings. You're radiating out an electrical charge from your body. When you go into a state of joy, and you go into a state of love, and you go into a state of gratitude, and you radiate that out, you're literally generating that frequency. Now, is there a particular mantra for her that she could use? The words that are coming to me right now, I extend. Hang on. They're saying before you use these words, it is important that you align yourself to their meaning beforehand. it is important you align yourself to the meaning as an energy, as a feeling beforehand. Okay. So the feeling, I extend light, I extend love. This is who I am at all points of time and space. I extend my light, I extend my love to all points of time and space. It is important, they want me to stress, it's important that when you use that statement, that you are in the vibration of it before you begin to use the words. The minute you use the physical words, you're radiating that energy into time and space. That's why every physical word is a creative energy. Every thought is a creative energy. The physical word is more interactive with the physical dimension, whereas the thought is more interactive with the astral dimensions. So you can help people's minds, you can help people's bodies using that mantra, provided you're in the energy of that. I am light, right? I'd have to go back and listen to what they said again. But it's important that you're in the state of the energy before you speak the mantra. They're stressing that, really important. Thank you so much for that, Animal. Really appreciate that. Great question. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. This is from, wow, this is a great question. And again, this soul has not left your life. Dova, this soul has not left your life. They are working with you. They are working with you. And the words that they're communicating to me to communicate to you is remember playfulness. Remember playfulness. In your thoughts with who I am, remember playfulness. So they really want you'll feel a different shift in your energy when you engage playfulness, especially when you're thinking about them. Anytime you think of engage a vibration or an energy or an action of playfulness, and you'll become more conscious of their presence with you. A lot of people think matter is the only way in which we can interact with matter. It's not. Like the words that are coming out of this physical body, from them and through this body, they're coming from a non-physical place, and they manifest in form. So that soul that you're dealing with is not gone from your life. They're just not in physical form, but they can be closer and work better with you in a spirit of playfulness. That's what they're communicating to me. They're not, it's an old soul. It's not a young soul. It's an old soul. They've been around you for a while. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for your contribution for the super chat. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Lauren, I don't know why. Thank you for asking that question, Lauren. What does Spirit want me to know today? Celebrate. That's the words that come through. Celebrate. Just celebrate. Like celebrate. I don't know why, but that's really powerful. Celebrate is what they want you to do today. Celebrate. Celebrate. And again, there's this energy coming in. It's like this pure white light coming in through the back of my head down in here. It's coming out through my throat. So celebrate, like celebrate. And whatever that means or how that works for you, find a way to celebrate. Again, they're not being specific. They're just saying celebrate over and over again. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. So whatever that means for you. Thank you for that, Laura. I needed that other boost. It's wonderful. Thank you for your questions, guys. I really love it. I felt the energy of a being last night. I got the name Master Valerian. Was that true? I don't know who this is, but they're saying if that is the gateway that allows you to hear me and feel me, then yes, this is who I am to you. The vibrational frequency of a word is equally as important in terms of your ability to relate to the energy that represents for you, that which you are ready to receive. And the vibration of that word is more important than the word itself. If you understand this, you'll integrate the essential meaning of what our communication represents and how you can enact that communication into your life as a vibration. Cool. Wow, some of this stuff is just mind-blowing, yeah, guys? Love it. Um, what are my connections in the spirit world? Thank you. That's a great question, because a lot of people have asked that question in various ways. Meditation is where you will begin to articulate your connection in the spirit world. I mean, your body's connected to the spirit world too, but in a different way. Your mind is connected to the spirit world, but in a different way. You, as an awareness, as a soul, in your meditation, when you are got your mind and your body still and quiet, and you are just in the space of your being, and you want to communicate with these beings, you can call them forth in that place. You know, the different masters, the Pleiadians, the Lyrans, the other multidimensional beings, some of whom I don't even have description for or names for, I can feel them. Being able to align to them from a place of awareness, and then to bring what you experience as an awareness down into mind and body, will allow you to understand the answer to that question more efficiently. Like really, as an awareness in your meditation, go into that place of being connected to them, and allow that energy to come down into mind as thought, as inspiration, and it will. Like when you connect to Master Jesus or Buddha or Lao Tzu or the Pleiadians, when you connect to higher vibrational beings, your energy goes up. You expand. You don't contract or diminish. You expand. You get inspired. You get to know more. You get to experience more. You get to be more of what you are. Because you're aligning your frequency up, not down. Thank you for that question. Really appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's funny. We have a running thing going on. Somebody just made a comment about small talk with Jesus. It happens a lot of the time. I mean, they'll come in, they'll ask me questions, or I'll ask them questions, and I'll be in the shower, I'll be walking the street, and suddenly I'll ask them a question, and then I'm asking I'm questioning their question, asking for more detail. It's important. You learn how to. Just because they're not in a body doesn't mean they cannot hear you. This is so important to understand. There are millions of radio stations and TV stations passing through at different frequencies than my eyes or ears can hear. Why Master Jesus said, learn to see without eyes and hear without ears. So important. That means opening up the non-physical senses, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, opening up the non-physical frequencies of perception that we all have available to us, but we have to learn to develop them. Why we teach the courses and classes we do, to teach people to develop those skills so that you can tune into these frequencies of other beings that are around us, just like these TV stations and radio stations. Very important. So I love it too. It's a lot of fun. It's really, sometimes it's really funny too, because they'll give me ideas that are right out of the blue. I'm going, why that? You know. So thank you. I'm glad you pointed that out. Question from Fardiba. Yes. He's saying the heart for you. He's saying you need to rest in your heart, in the silence of your heart. Dear one, rest in there. In the silence of your heart, you'll find great solace and freedom from this world. And the freedom you find in your heart, you can offer to the world. You will give it to the world, and you will then have more peace in your world. In your world, the little world that you live in that little body. But you will also, in doing this, offer peace to others. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that question. Also, I want to say, in addition to the tonight, ways you can support these messages. You can go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes, and become a Patreon supporter there. We do a live event once a month, sometimes twice a month. We get surprise events, like we had a surprise healing event last Sunday, which was really, or Sunday before last, and it was amazing. And this tonight we got our patrons only live event, and for my patrons. So you can support us through Patreon. You can also support this work through using the super chat. You know, if you want a question that you need answered, and there's a lot of questions, and it's getting busier all the time, you can use the super chat, and for as little as $1, and get your question prioritized so I can answer it right away. And that's another way you can support these messages. come out Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We do Shortcuts for the Soul. And on Saturday, we do a program called Supernatural Saturday, where we take the energy that was imparted to us on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We take that energy and it's put into a meditative process so you can integrate it into your mind and into your DNA and into your world. Like, it's a real thing, being able to put new ideas and information into your DNA, to re-instruct your DNA, to re-instruct the mind to work differently with different energy. Much the same way as if you've ever seen how water or sand can be organized with different frequencies of sound. Well, the frequencies of meditation that we use on Supernatural Saturday is like that. It reorganizes the energy matrix of your body, your mind, your emotions, your soul, and the energy of this world around us. Also, I want to say I'm fortunate enough, I've been invited to do a show with C Meaghan Michael on her program, Divine. Yes, I understand. Yes, if she might be here. So I'll be posting the link for the live event this coming Sunday with C Meaghan Michael. And that's, I believe, going to be 2 or 3 o'clock. I have to double check, but I'll put all the information in the description box in this video. So hopefully you'll come and join us, because we're going to be bringing Master Jesus, and we're going to be doing some healing work next Sunday at that live event too. So I'm really, really excited about that. So hopefully we'll see you guys there too. And yes, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Fardiba. I really appreciate that. Again, I cannot say how important this is. Your questions, your contributions are amazing, and I really appreciate your questions, especially because when you ask a question of these beings and they give you an answer, there are so many others that energy is needed for. Because remember, the response that comes through is an energy. You're calling forth an energy. When you ask a question, you're calling forth an energy, not only into your life, but into the life of this world and the people around you. I want to thank you all so very much. Otherwise, you can support the channel. My Patreon, my PayPal account, which again, there's a link on my YouTube channel main page. You can make contributions through PayPal as well. Also, you can, if you want to know more or you want to go deeper into this for yourself, you can book a reading with me through my website, williammichaelforbes.com/reading. Also, you can check out our courses and classes on my website, williammichaelforbes.com. And our first class will be starting on February the 13th of 2021. And hopefully we'll see some of you there. The rates, the fees, the content, the course material are all going to be there. I'll look forward to seeing some of you there. We already have people registering now, so don't hesitate to get involved. And I will see everybody again on Wednesday at 10 a.m. on Shortcuts for Your Soul. And thank you so much for your time, your energy, your patience, and focus. Much love, everybody. Bye for now.